how firm are you on a client who's like, I want to compete, but they don't necessarily have maybe the lifestyle or even like relationship with food and training and stuff yet to commit to it?
Yeah.
You do the trial run.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, so these are basically, we've done it both together, been like, okay, this, and this are some room for improvement, let's say, that we need to fix before we say competition is a go.
Yeah, I'm pretty firm now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll be like, these are the gaps we need to fill beforehand. I know there's other people that just will allow things to happen, but if you do that, then I find that the relationship will break down when the pressure is high.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than being 8 weeks out and you're not ready.
Yeah.
And that person's not doing what they should.
Yeah.
Because that's stressful on you, it's stressful on them, and then that relationship can actually fracture. Where, like, now I'd just be like, you're not in a position just yet because of these things. Yeah. It's like we need to make sure that those things are on point for this to be, because it's already hard, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the three and the everyone I had that competed this season, there was no off plan, nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't get a single person say, I have done this, and I trust that they would have told me. Yeah. Like, Gemma told me she ate like 50 grams of cherry tomatoes. Yeah. 7 calories. It was like, blink 5 times and you're sweet. It's neutral. So, and it was fucking hard for all. Yeah. You know, so I think when you start to just add in things that aren't at a standard of where they should be, one, it makes it even harder. Two, you have to second guess yourself, because if they're not following the plan, you're like, oh, what's the, why?
What do I change?
How do I make another decision? Do I bomb? Do I drag them down even more? And it's like, how can you drag someone down even more if they're not
doing the thing
then it makes the experience negative for them. And all of a sudden bodybuilding wasn't for me. And I feel like you're trying to make the experience as, when I say easy, it's as easy as it can be. It's fucking hard. So rather than that, say not,
seamless,
awful. Yeah. But just as hard as it needs to be. Yeah. You know, so I'm very strict on that now. Yeah.
And do you want to see that like in an off season?
Yeah, I want to see it everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, I want to see like the...
That's the challenge I've set. It's like, okay, so we're going to go into, you got 3 more weeks of the cut. Yeah. We'll get some before and after photos. She can't make it to our shoot. So it's like, cool. Yep. Tan up, either see a local photographer or just go to the gym and film a whole workout and do it in 4K and take some photos. Yeah. Then we're going to go into a maintenance block. We've got Christmas coming up. We've got a holiday coming up. We've got new business coming up. Like, okay, now that maintenance still has to be at the, for lack of a better term, because I know people get shitty at it, the adherence to the plan that your cut was. And it actually needs to be, we've identified that there's room, so it actually needs to be better. So lifestyle-wise, you need to start living like a bodybuilder. Yeah. If you want to do a bodybuilding show.
Yeah, we call it always in prep. Yeah. Yeah. I call it living the lifestyle, always in prep. Like, that's what the new kind of, I guess, like, term is. It's like, it doesn't matter what phase of the year you're in, you're always treating it like prep. And it's like, you dot I's, cross T's, live the way you should, live in a manner, operate in a manner that reflects your outcomes. Yeah. And there's not a lot of rope. Yeah. You know, like, that's the less rope you have, the better you'll be.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's more behavioral. Like, I just want to know. So powerlifting, the only metric is, do you go to the gym? Yeah. Like, if you're doing that, sweet.
Well, it's like, hey, show up in the gym, though. Because you can break all of it down.
Yeah, but
how you approach your warm-ups, how you approach your ramp sets, how you approach your hypertrophy blocks. Yeah. You know, how you approach your accessories. We've spoken about this so much.
I think most people interested in powerlifting don't have an issue with that. It's like, if I want to get on the platform, there's not many people that come to me because it's not sexy. I think that's what it is. It's like, if you want to go into powerlifting, you like lifting heavy weights. Yeah. So I'm trying to balance, more often than not, trying to make sure that your tech's good and the way your training is good. Not, where I've had other ones like, I think maybe I want to try powerlifting. I'm like, you just skip workouts and shit. Like that's not.
Yeah.
When it gets hard, you won't enjoy it.
You'll break too.
100%. And everyone that does that gets injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, we're in prep now, turn it on. Week 4.
It's too late.
Something hurts. Yeah. It's like you haven't done the work. You haven't built the foundation.
Yeah.
Happens every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that with the physique stuff though, I think there's more layers.
Oh yeah, because it branches out to every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well I guess like maybe I've just been fortunate with the powerlifters that I've had. Because maybe my reputation's more steadfast in that people like that come to me for it they're in a different playing field.
Yeah.
Whereas for a physique, people would come to me for a lifestyle transformation, not to compete. And then they start to do it and they're like, actually, I kind of like this and I do want to compete. Can you do that?
Yeah.
I'm like, these are the standards rather than coming to me and being like, I want to compete and I'm already doing all this. So maybe that's what it is for me. Because powerlifting's like, it's rare.
Yeah.
It's rare to have people that don't train in the off season. Like I've maybe had one in the last couple of years.
Yeah, right.
That don't do all the things that they should.
Yeah.
Or a couple.
I think it's on us to... People don't understand the standard they have to operate at as well, though.
Yeah.
So that's on us to tell them.
Yeah.
So even, like, I've consulted with a few people over the last couple of weeks who've jumped on board for preps.
Yeah.
For comps, like, in the future.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the expectation.
Yeah.
And I've got them in dot points. I'm like, you've got to live like this.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that it happens at the start of prep. It means it happens as soon as your first week lays out. And I'm like, if you're not prepared to do that, then this isn't going to work for you.
Yeah.
And I can see how, remember when I hit up Rawdon for coaching and he sent me his little book of this is what I do.
Yeah.
That was a written conversation of what I have with people now.
Mm.
It was just a written version of it.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't want to do this, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
Is essentially what it was. It's like, you don't train this way, you don't eat this way, you don't, operate in your life this way, then I'm not the coach for you. And I can respect that now, because the last thing you want is to tell someone like, we can get you to comp, but not lay those expectations out at the start and then try and mold them. And then there's resistance. And then all of a sudden you're halfway through prep and, then they move to another coach and, you're the bad person and all that kind of shit, which, whatever happens. But you want to try and, reduce that as much as possible.
Yep.
So, I think the more kind of dialed in on what you want to see in an athlete, and I think you need to know what that is.
Yeah.
The more dialed in you are, you can go, this is the person that operates in a way that has the goals that you want. You have to live that way. Yeah.
I think my train of thought with the who comes to me thing is I don't get people that eat shit and drink and they lifestyle. Training is already their lifestyle, the ones that come for powerlifting. But it's another, that's great for a physique transformation. That's great for lifestyle, but there's more.
Yeah, and there's something, you can get anyone in shape in a multitude of ways, and you can do it softly, you can do it aggressively, it can be short, it can be long.
Yeah.
When there's a standard of physique that needs to be met, that is way higher than what anyone has most likely ever done before, and it's on a specific day as well.
Yeah.
It's that takes a fucking certain standard to live by every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what needs to be. You need to know what that standard is and you need to hold them to it every week. And they also need to know what it's like before they go into it, of all of the habits and everything.
Yeah.
So that, like we always say, it's just a turn of the dial.
Yeah.
Even once Saturday and Sunday go, these guys are it's just more carbs and fats.
Yeah, but the behavior's the same.
But they still meal prep. They still do their cardio. They still train. They're still
just not as hungry.
Nothing changes. They just feel better.
Yeah.
Nothing changes, and that's that didn't happen week 1 of prep. That manifested over the time that I was working with them before they were in prep.
How long would you have an expectation, or say recommend? Someone's listening, thinking about competing. How long should you have that application for?
It's a great question. Look, I think it depends on where your physique is to where it needs to be, because it's not just the behaviors. Like, I don't want to prep someone who ends up on stage that doesn't look the way they should for the categories as well.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have enough muscle.
Yeah.
And that muscle takes time. So you would need to, this is where it's a little bit individual.
Yeah.
You know, because you've got to have that period where you add size to strip, because prep's just peeling body fat off to present the muscle. Mm-hmm. The muscle gets built in the off season or the pre-prep period.
Yeah.
So yeah, from a physique perspective, it depends. If the person was just like, hey, I've got the assets on my physique to do well.
Yeah.
3 months.
Okay. Shorter than I expected.
Dotting I's and crossing T's. Yeah. So like if you you've got the size, right? So let's just use you as an example. Put you in some board shorts so you don't have to train legs, right? So it's like you want to do.
It's the biggest compliment Jason's ever given me.
We'll put him in board shorts though. I could have given you the side jab.
I stopped listening after you got the size, bro. That ended there. In my head, the voice in the back of my head still said Fanatties. I'm still just like, nah. Like I don't, but anyway.
So upper body size, like the size for the categories there.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, well, like we need to just live that way first.
Yeah.
And then you need to get information like, you know, responses to training, nutrition, supplements. Yeah. You know, foster relationship as well, which I think is super important. Like I don't like the idea of just like, I'm coming to prep and prep's now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I
would do that now.
Yeah, would do that now. Just because your reputation's on the line, man. Like I can do it, but it's just like it'd take a very, very, very unique circumstance to just be like, all right, we consulted this week and prep starts Monday.
Yeah,
that takes a very unique situation and person, I guess. So yeah, you just want to see that all those things are being met, so that when you move into prep, everything's as good as it can be.
Yeah,
but that's not to say that like it can't happen, because if you've got a high caliber athlete. And that's what's going to happen. I know there's going to be a time when someone comes, like one of my guys for whatever, it's happened before.
Yeah.
They've jumped to someone else. Mm-hmm. And I know that they're just going to slot straight in because we did all the right things as well. So I know there's going to be a time when I'll get a high caliber athlete jump to me.
Yep.
And they're already doing it. It's just the way I think and the way I act and whatever that they're like, all right, let's try this and see where we land.
Yep.
So it is really, I don't want to say it depends, but you know, I've given you examples anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I reckon it's probably 12 months, though. Like, it should be a 12-month commitment to the whole thing. Like,
you got to be doing a lot of things before it, I think, to even have a go. You can't just, like, get up off the couch one day and just go, I'm going to do a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
Like, and then just compete. Like, you just can't. Like, you can, but, like, it won't be a good time.
To live the lifestyle thing, I think you need to do that for 12 months.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, like... You work with them too, but seeing like not bodybuilding population, like non-competitors, what you need to do to get results versus what you need to do to compete are not the same thing.
No.
So I think you can cruise along getting pretty good results.
Absolutely.
And then
we're a perfect example of that.
Yeah. You need to then go, no, there's another level here.
Yeah. Like I'm a perfect example of that. It's like the last 12 weeks have been great, but it's nowhere near at a standard for prep.
Yeah.
Still had people over for lunch on Sunday. We ate the same food.
Yeah.
I had cake with my godson.
Yeah.
Like, that's not... But I still look great.
Yeah.
And I'm still making progress.
Yeah.
That is not the same. The same is they come over, you cook for them, and you eat your own fucking food.
It's Tupperware, yeah.
Yeah. And then when they leave, you go to the gym or do your cardio or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not what happened.
Yeah.
I was fucking tired from the Saturday, so I just didn't do shit. I think I took Matt for a walk around the block, and that was for him, not me.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. It's like, it's just different, man. When you know that you've got to land a physique in a condition that is just so extreme, and it takes so much, and it's on a day, that just takes so much more. So then, if you're nowhere near that standard, it's just like power to you. Good luck.
It's like telling the barber what your big three are.
Yeah,
it's like the barber's done the squat before, so it's like, oh, I squatted 230. They're like, oh yeah, cool. Like, rah. And that's similar. It's like, because I've done a squat before. I know what the squat is. I know what I've benched. I benched 2 plates, bro, one time when I was 20 years ago. Like everyone's got that little bit of taste of what a barbell movement is.
Yeah.
And then you can also go for a lifestyle client. It's like, I've done a deficit before.
Yeah.
I've trained before. I've seen my abs before. I've built my glutes over 3 years before. Like,
I've done the thing.
I've done the thing that bodybuilders do before to just a different kind of scale.
My own schedule.
Yeah.
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 My own schedule and my own compliance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think watching all your guys go through this prep has reminded me of how hard it actually is. And I remember like back in the day, like watching your prep and stuff, being in a position where I was just like, fuck, my clients had better prove to me that they're like, we used to have like the prep checklist and all that shit.
Let's do
like, you fucking have to show, man, that this isn't a fuck around, man. This isn't.
It's above everything.
This isn't going to the gym. It's not the same.
It's above everything.